and I'm black, y'all. And I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all. And I'm black, y'all. And I'm black, y'all. And I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all. I'm blickety black, blacker than black, black. I'm blacker than black, yo. Because I'm black and I'm back. Yo, I'm black and I'm black, y'all. And I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all. And I'm black, y'all. And I'm black, y'all. Yeah. It's St. Louis.
Welcome to the A-Train Show. And now here's your host, the A-Train, Arlington Lane.
Yeah, True Chatter.
Yeah, I think it's time for more True Chatter. Born every day 100 new things.
Welcome to this edition of the A-Train Show, the A-Train Arlington Lane. It's Tuesday. Before I get started, I gotta
Tuesday goodbye.
I feel for y'all UFL. So I wanted to make sure I got that in, but yes, I wanted to make sure, hey, Michigan fans, I feel for you. It's a new dawn, it's a new age, and yeah, we'll get into that. Plus, we'll get into some Major League Baseball playoffs. We'll get into NFL, of course. So I'll tie in with the UFL, get a little college football in. NBA is around the corner, and definitely got to get in some WWE. So stick around. Be right back with more of the A-Train Show. So stick around. Welcome back to this edition of the A Train Show, the A Train in Arlington Lane. Thanks to everybody that tuned in on the different networks. Hey, big thanks to Pigskin and Chill. Thank y'all for jumping in and joining the fray. Yeah, Denzel, new Battlehawks uniforms. It looks like it's going to be in effect again. Good morning or good afternoon to you, Kevin, and good afternoon and good morning to you, Robert. Thank y'all for jumping in on the program today. All right, let us, I guess, let's get this bad boy started, man. The real news. The real news of the day. I don't even know, honestly, how to begin that. You know, it's the big one. You know what I mean? And we here for it, right? We all here for it. This is, you see, I got my Michigan Panthers hat on today, and I don't know why my thing will not come up today. But I'm about to try it real quick, and I'm gonna be mad if I can't use it. I don't think I can. This has been the kind of day it's been today. There it is. Get something I can put up. First off, that's a real sign. That's real. I can't describe that any better. We'll touch a bit more on it on Thursday. If you tune into the X-Fan show. But that's the news that dropped today. That's why I said October is the greatest time, y'all, when it comes to sports. It's the greatest. And you never know. You never know what that's going to be like. And Mike Rapoli made sure some news dropped today about that type of information. As a matter of fact, this is from him today. Today marks an important step forward for the United Football League. Columbus, Louisville, and Orlando are true football cities with deep sports roots. We're proud. Man, I can't have to read that crap I got. We're proud to bring professional football to these communities in energetic, fan-driven stadiums built to create an authentic game day experience and strengthen the foundation of this league for years to come. Mike Rapoli, co-owner of the United Football League. I guess clarity is a good thing. David Burnett said, why they do Houston like that, man? I'm so disappointed. He said, that is so ugly. You know what? It's not as bad as it seems. But my issue with this is that I wonder why all of these sudden changes now with this league. Listen, I'm trying my hardest to get behind it. And damn it, you're making it hard for me. You're making it really difficult for me to get behind what you guys are doing. And this league, it already in year 3, mind you, this is year 3. This is something totally different. Usually when you have a league like this, there's progression, but there's been retraction and then addition. And I'm like, the Michigan Panthers themselves was a good organization. And I understand that the attendance was a big issue. And my thing was, how is it that this league could not keep the Michigan Panthers, at least put them in a situation or a stadium where they could continue on? Because that was a good group, a very good group. And I don't know how to correlate this. I just don't. it drives me insane that that's where we are now. That's where we are, and this ain't as simple as it seems. It is a very, very, very sad day for this. And yes, they're really making it hard to trust the league and be excited for the league. And KJ says, I can't. Sorry, the trust has been broken. They keep taking and expect people to have endless faithfulness despite the mistreatment. Sorry, that's not how reputable businesses work. It's crazy that they took away Michigan when they had rising attendance numbers. That's my thing. And if you're sitting here telling us that you're going to get more teams, you're going to put them in soccer stadiums, how come that couldn't be done for Michigan? Detroit was an opportunity for that. And I guess the optics just did not look good enough for Mike Rapolo. All right. Speaking of which, did y'all see in the picture the new football for the UFL? You saw that? I was hoping y'all caught that. I was really hoping y'all was catching that, because that's a new one, because it goes along with that right there. And then, if you want to know the new teams, there they are in front of you. Columbus Aviators, Louisville Kings, the Orlando Storm, and the return of the Houston Gamblers. So 3 of the old XFL teams remain in Birmingham. The only USFL team returns. So I like how the Orlando Storm, the colors that they used, gave off the Orlando Apollos from the Alliance of American Football. I'm hoping y'all caught that. I'm hoping y'all caught that, man. I'm hoping y'all caught that. Like the Gamblers logo, it's more stylish, has richer colors. Cool. The UFL should have kept the Gamblers name after the merger. I thought they would fold the USFL Gamblers and rebrand the Roughnecks as the Gamblers. But they ended up doing the complete opposite. Yeah, that's true. What's up, Sandy? Good afternoon to you too. I said something about ball on Twitter. Don't Detroit have a soccer team? I think they do. Yep, and I shared it. And don't forget the Dallas Renegades. Yeah, they went back to the old Dallas Renegade name, which I don't think they should have ever got rid of that in the first place. That's just me. I did see that. That's a smart play. With all these logo refreshes taking place, I'd like to see the Battlehawks move from the military typeface to a more stylish. Considering that the Battlehawks was a team that was focused around military, I think that actually would be best if they just go ahead and keep it as such, because that's what the Battlehawk was actually meant for, not the cacaw as everybody wanted to fully phrase it as, which actually begun here. But David, sadly, the stats and metrics from 2023 did support your suggestion that a compromise and merging the 2 separate teams actually did more harm than good. Yeah, the UF. Yeah, we know that that is definitely something that's been known. I'm going to read a comment that I seen on my A-Train show page. I put out the leagues, teams, and stuff. And let's see if I can put the comment up on here. So I got a couple of comments, as a matter of fact. Casey says, absolutely idiotic to change the Houston name for what? Joker for league and has been for years. Riggs says, absolutely stupid to change our name. That is what we have been saying all along. They want to build a fan base and keep changing things every year. How do they expect us fans to trust and believe in a league when they keep changing things? Response was, when will it be consistent? How can this league be trusted? Does Rapoli even care about the fans, or is it just another business deal? When will it all end? And Sabrina says, especially when it's obvious that the Roughnecks brand was the more lucrative of the two. All right. Thank y'all for y'all comments. For sure, appreciate it. Very appreciative of that. Yeah, when will this all end? Do you think the Battlehawks go back to the 2020 uniforms? I mean, what should I be surprised if they go back to what was the ones that actually was working? You know, think I stayed with Houston first, talk with my son, and Joe Frank Falcons is a Bengals. What does that even mean, Denzel? What's that mean? All right. I'm not going to do a deep dive. I'm wearing, like I said, I'm wearing the Michigan hat in support of the Panthers, who are now gone from the UFL, and hopefully we'll see. Oh, is he really? I thought he was with the Browns, man. Are you kidding me? Oh man. Okay. All right. You talk about one of the biggest jokes of the league right now. Unless I'm seeing something, unless I'm not seeing it, unless I'm not seeing, this is probably one of the biggest jokes by far, man. I thought this is not real. And Denzel just sat there and shared it with me. And then I just see Adam Schefter's tweet on it. There it is. Joe Flacco is traded to the Cincinnati Bengals. Does that say for a 6th round? Oh, Joe Flacco and a 6th round pick for the Bengals for a 5th round pick. Boy, this is going to be an A-train. It's going to be an A-train ride to remember. I told you, boy, we riding everywhere today, man. It don't matter. It doesn't even matter, man. Oh, shoot. This is fantastic. I love it. Boy, remark the day, folks. Tuesday, October 7th is probably one of the craziest days. And if I'm not mistaken, this is what, week 5 or week 6? This is week 6. This is the trading deadline. The NFL's trading deadline. No, it's November 4th. I'm sorry. It's next month. But today has already been quite a day for football, professional football at that. Let me get back into some of these comments regarding Detroit. They were working on a new stadium for Detroit FC. Once it's completed, maybe they'll consider Michigan. Yeah, you know what? Maybe Michigan will get back in. So all is not completely lost. They just won't be a part of the 26th season. I wonder what the new team uniforms would look like. The Roughnecks were the more lucrative of the two brands. Why even do this? Yes, sir. They traded Flacco to the Bengals. So the question now becomes, so now you done threw another story in for me. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate that. So now you're down to 2 quarterbacks over in Cleveland. You're not going to trust Deshaun Watson. So now it's between Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, which it should have been that all along. All along. I remember having a conversation with someone about the youth should have been the movement for the Cleveland Browns. Now, everybody's been talking about, let me see if I can pull this one up real quick. Dang it. Okay, now my stuff gonna act up. It was by Bomani Jones and you know what? Did I miss that too? I missed that. Okay, but this is Bomani Jones because today was supposed to be the big announcement, of course, with LeBron James. We're gonna get into that too. But here is Bomani Jones on Shedeur Sanders on the right time with Bomani Jones.
Dillon Gabriel looks like he's playing with his big brother's friends. Like, he just doesn't seem like he should be out there playing football. I'm going to just say this, though. Looking at the way that Dillon Gabriel looked in that game, if Shedeur Sanders cannot get himself on the field on a team that Dillon Gabriel plays for, how about you just go do a podcast? Because this young man here is not going to play no whole lot of NFL football. All that talk he had about he's looking around the rest of the league, he knows he's capable of it. I don't know what you got to do to get there, because as of right now, they don't think you are capable of being Dillon Gabriel. I wouldn't be talking to nobody either. I wouldn't be a mom. I'd be walking around there acting like a couple women I dated, just giving them the silent treatment. Just not saying nothing to nobody. I'd be mad at the motherfucker if you was telling me I can't do that.
There you have it. That was yesterday. It was yesterday. And then today we get the news that that Joe Flacco is now a member of the Cincinnati Bengals. And then trading within the division is just diabolical to me. Trading within the division is completely diabolical. I don't care how you want to cut it. I don't care how you want to slice it. That's diabolical. Pull a stunt like that. Yes, Shedeur may actually get a chance this go round. So it's going to be a competition between the two. But I just find this crazy that we sit here in this week and Joe Flacco is now a member of the Cincinnati Bengals, and now we're down to the two quarterbacks, the two rookies at that, and Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. I still think Kevin Stefanski is a fraud. I don't care how you want to slice that either. I still believe he's a fraud. He should have never won that Coach of the Year back in 2023. But I'll digress. For now. Because it's going to come back up again. It's going to come back up. So, I want to thank the Jacksonville Jaguars last night. As much as I hate it for my Houston Texans, but they're just 2 games up in the division. So it's not a huge deal because the Texans put the beatdowns to the Baltimore Ravens. I could care less that it was no Lamar Jackson. That's not their problem. The fact that Lamar Jackson was not on the field and that he did not play in that game. That had nothing to do with Houston. Houston's playing the members that have decided to come out on the field. And shout out to Jalen Noel pulling off one of the best moves and pissed off a bunch of players. And let me see if they did it. Okay, there it is. Pissed off a bunch of players and pissed off I don't think but fans for sure. It did piss off the fans, but that don't matter in this case. But shout out to Jalen Noel. I'm going to showcase that move here. Go for it.
This is his first career NFL touchdown, JJ.
Yeah,
Courtesy
he does
of
something in
CBS
Baltimore
Sports.
that for many years would never have been allowed by an opposing player.
And then
And
look,
that just kind of speaks to it. And then there's a little bit of a tussle as he goes over to grab his first ever touchdown ball. Jair Alexander takes some issue with that and tries to steal it.
he was big mad. He was big mad about that, yo. Big mad. And so shout out to Jalen Noel on his first touchdown of his career. And CJ Stroud with 4 touchdowns against Baltimore. So I'm telling you, that's a big conference builder for them as they go into the bye week, and then they'll play Seattle the next week as well. I'm hoping if he hears this, Big Sarge, I would love to get you on Thursday so I can talk to you about what's going on with this Texas organization. So I'm gonna just have to put it out there. If y'all see this, make sure Big Sarge gets this. Because I think right now is trying to find. I think this is a game that they needed. The Texans did, because the season looked like it was going into the pits. And for a team that has won back-to-back division titles, this season was a lot tougher. And even seeing the schedule at the beginning of the year, it already looked tough for them when they came into it. They had the hard loss against the Rams, right? You had the tough loss at home against Tampa, right? Then you dropped another one to Jacksonville on the road. So you're already 0-3, then you had to get them, and the last 2 wins have been credible. You know, granted, it's a Tennessee Titans team that's a young team as well, and they're still looking for their first win of the year. Oh, excuse me, they got their first win of the year in such a football folly fashion, but they got theirs, and it's crazy enough, the New York Jets can't seem to get it together. They can't get right for the life of themselves. So there's that. That's why this football season already has been crazy. I can't say anything different other than it's been a crazy year just to begin. Titans got their first win over the Cardinals. Big shock to me. I'm glad that my record, I don't have a losing record this season. I finished at 500 this week. Me and Spurge both tied this week. We'll go into the records and stuff when we come together on Thursday night for the X-Fans show. But yeah, that was a fantastic birthday gift for Trevor Lawrence to get the win against the Kansas City Chiefs. A lot of people were already commenting on the Chiefs and how they were getting away with calls once again. It's crazy that they're going with 2, and you going back to the Browns. Yes. I don't think he has a choice. I don't think Flacco don't have it with that group anymore. Bengals have been a goofy franchise. They've been a mediocre franchise. If you get a chance, folks, you can learn about the Cincinnati Bengals through Flemlo Raps. I'm gonna put that down so that way y'all can see it. This is his handle on YouTube. There it is, Flemlo Raps. He has probably one of the best ways he can describe what the Cincinnati, and he's a fan of it, the Cincinnati Bengals, and compared that to life. If you got some time, put up Flemlo Raps Cincinnati Bengals, and you should be able to catch what he says about that. It's actually fantastic. Yes, he did. He needed a memorable performance like that on Monday Night Football. I totally agree with that. Let's see, going by a lot of road teams took dubs this past week. A lot of road teams this week took dubs. So that's actually pretty interesting for this week. 49ers got the win in LA. Vikings beat the Browns in London. Cowboys over the Jets in New Jersey. Saints over the Giants. Saints got the win at home. Colts 46 over Vegas. What's going on in Vegas, y'all, with them Raiders? You're not looking good whatsoever. Panthers pull off the home win, 27-24. Broncos, and I'm telling you, some of these games was big shockers. Broncos knocked off the champion Eagles 21-17, and it just seemed like I think Broncos found out the issues with Philly, and they were able to get the job done in the second half. I think they had 18 unanswered points in the second half. Texans over Ravens 44-10. Titans beat the Cardinals 22-21 in a wild one. Tampa over Seattle 38-35. Lions over Bengals 37-24. Commanders 27-10. I will no longer use Justin Herbert as my quarterback in fantasy football. So F him. The Patriots 23-20 over the Bills. So there are no undefeated teams in the NFL currently. And then last night's game, 31-28 Jags over Chiefs. Flacco has said before he never wanted to be the guy to get rookie quarterbacks ready to take his job. Okay. Geno sucks. Carroll needs to retire. Same old Raiders, same. So freaking frustrated as a Raiders fan. I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for my guy, Matt Berger. I'm really sorry for y'all. Because y'all teams don't have anything that y'all team has nothing where they see any type of success going in to the rest of this season. You can forget it. Yeah, forget it. But I think now where it's headed, you talking about Pete Carroll, old coaches suck. Let's go to Bill Belichick over in UNC. I like to tell y'all that it's not going to be what y'all think it's going to be in North Carolina. He wasn't going to just have success right away. So my question then becomes, are we going to give the same energy to Bill Belichick, the same energy that y'all gave to Deion Sanders in Colorado? Because for real, y'all, for real, you tell me this.
What the hell's going on out here?
Can you tell me? Or is this going to be a simple sign of
Fuck it.
tell me? I need answers to this. Are we going to give that energy? Because I don't think Bill should last another year in North Carolina. I don't even think he should have a second season. If y'all ready to push, because right now Colorado's looking bad, UNC's looking bad, the names behind it are giving themselves bad reps. So you tell me right now on this train ride, you think Bill Belichick is going to get the same type of energy that Deion Sanders is going to get, that Deion Sanders had got or has get now? Because I don't think that team is going to pull it around and change it. I don't even think they're going to be bowl eligible. Trust me, we know. It's a hot mess. And shout out to Bama beating Georgia. It's always a good day when the Tide beat the Dogs. I met a guy last night that was a Chiefs fan. As he was driving up, I yelled, "Go Jaguars." He said, "Oh, there you go, there you go, there you go, there you go." Was I wrong, though? Jaguar did get the dub. That's all that matters. Cha-ching! Money line. We hitting on the money lines today, baby. All right, this is the A-Train Show Tuesday. It is definitely a train ride to remember. Thanks to our fans that are tuning in on the X-Fan Show pages, because we're over there now. If you're catching the show on Twitch, thank you for tuning in too. Thank you to the many groups that are a part of this and are tuning in as well. Thank you. How many years did Bill sign for Carolina? Oh, Lord, 5 years. They got 5 years of this mess? 5. All right, so the other question is going to become, as old school coaches Can they get to young kids? Do you think that method is going to actually work? Or are we going to be sitting around talking about?
What the hell's going on out here?
You tell me. Because to me, it just sounds like it's nothing but a laugh. Yeah, stop it. Thank you. Thank you. But that's my ordeal when it comes to that. Do you think you can turn around a school like Carolina in 5 years? Why does that name sound familiar? That's the former Patriots quarterback, right? Okay, yes. Did old school coaches know how to deal with NIL? Do old school coaches know how to deal with NIL? I think the answer to that right now is no. Because what you're going to have to understand is you have general managers. So you're going to all these different teams are going to have to employ this like it's the NFL, and that you're finding free agents or making trades to see what teams can come out to become better than what they are now. That's literally what college football has become. It's the NFL. It's the light version of the NFL. You have general managers now. They run the team. The coaches don't do it. The general managers are going to be the ones sending out the groups for players, saying your son deserves to be here with our squad. This is what we'll give you. It's not like the full ride scholarships anymore. Now there's benefits that comes into play. You have to almost give guaranteed money for young athletes to come play for these squads. That's where we are now. And do not be surprised. I'm trying to think, has college basketball also taken that approach? That now, 30 years ago, the movie Blue Chips is now going to be really realistic. There it is, folks. Art imitating life. The only difference is they're not going to be screaming that boosters and alumni have bought players. Because now the opportunity is going to be there. You can buy them. You can buy them all. That's where we are now. When it comes to NC2A. And it's NC2A's fault for it. So you got to pay for that. They're trying everything they can to restrict it. But this is not the athlete's fault. This is the NCAA's fault. Now they have to deal with that. I'm low-key actually happy for the players to get it. Athletes that can and will get that. Get those type of benefits. Yes, they should go to school. They should be able to get an education. But at the same time, folks was making money off their backs. And now they can get a piece of that. What's up with Texas? Can we also throw, I know I threw Bill Belichick's name out there about getting that same energy. Can we do the same thing for Steve Sarkisian? Can we do the exact same thing? Like he can get thrown up under a bus too? I mean, they just got beat by Florida. Is Arch Manning the real deal? Is he still that guy that everybody thought he was going to be? All right, that's my ordeal with college baseball. All right, I'm gonna move over to some Major League Baseball because one of the biggest things that I had an issue with, and I know Spurge talked about it a little bit. I didn't really go into deep detail with his, and I'll find out on another show if I'm correct or not. But it's this MVP race. Right now, as we sitting, you seen the post. Who is the AL American League MVP? No question. I'll tell you this flat out. Listen when I say this. The American League MVP is New York Yankees outfielder Aaron Judge, not Seattle Mariners catcher Cal Raleigh. Does he even want to play at all? Thank you. But back to baseball. Listen, you can make the strong case for Cal Raleigh. One major stat is what's going to kill his chances of winning the most valuable player. That's his batting average. It's going to kill it. He did everything else right. He led in home runs. He led in RBIs. He's in the top in RBIs. He's a switch hitter. And that's still going to kill him. That 247 average, if they give him that just because he hit 60 home runs, everything in baseball is a joke. You got to give it to the best player. Granted, the Yankees are getting killed right now by the Toronto Blue Jays, who want to show everybody that they deserve to be where they are right now. The reason why they won their division. They're showcasing that right now because they are a better team than the New York Yankees in these playoffs. Now understand, look, they both tied. And Yankees had to play the wild card game and stuff. But it also shows you with these last two games, New York don't stand a chance. They're going down 0-2 going into New York. And I think they play tomorrow night. But when it comes to Aaron Judge, outside of the regular season, he ain't nothing but a baseball version of James Harden. Ain't showed up in the playoffs nowhere. I get it. The regular season, yeah, it's happy-go-dory, and you can make all these great plays and making all these massive hits and whatnot. But when it comes to playoffs, it's like he just can't lock in. And that's similar to what James Harden does in the playoffs. What can be done to change that? I still think he's the MVP of the season, though. He's the better hitter. His OPS was over 200 points higher. I'm going to get into that, Al. I'm going to get into that. Don't pin it. I'm get into that. And then, not to mention that Aaron Judge's batting average is damn near 90 points higher than Cal Raleigh. So Aaron Judge is the MVP here. It does not matter on how far a team goes in the postseason. When the regular season is over, determines who's going to win the most valuable player. And they had to look at that. It does not determine playoffs, how they do well in the playoffs, or how far a team goes in the playoffs. It has nothing to do with that. This has everything to do with how you were during the regular season. Yes, the Seattle Mariners won the division. for the first time in a long time. Well deserved. They deserve this postseason berth. And they're trying to get back to the ALCS for the first time since 2001. So when they won 116 games, yeah, they're trying to get back to the first time in nearly 25 years. So it is a lot of pressure in Seattle right now. Tigers have at least been around in that. Let's see, shoot, I think what we're looking at. Wait a minute. We're looking at 2012. That's what we're looking at. 2013. Okay. So it's not as far. But for the Mariners, it's going to take a lot to get there. Now, get it. Cal Raleigh's going to have to do it, but he's just not. He's the MVP of the Mariners. Broke Ken Griffey Jr.'s team record for home runs. He was knocking on Aaron Judge's AL record for home runs, too. But he finished with 60, which is all-time the best by a catcher and the only switch-hitting catcher to hit the amount of home runs that he did, 50 and 60. But he still doesn't have, he still can't win. I still can't win the MVP. Same can be said over in the National League. I think the two that they're looking at right now is Kyle Schwarber. Dang it. And Shohei Ohtani. And I hate to break it to y'all, Ohtani's going to win again. Shohei Ohtani's going to win the MVP once again. It goes back again. It goes back to the same things what Kyle Riley's done. Schwarber led the league in home runs. Schwarber led the league in RBIs. But he has a less amount of hits, and he's hitting 240. He hit 240. That is not an MVP award. You don't get an MVP award when you bat 240. I get it. Ohtani is he's going to win it because he batted 280. He had the 55 home runs. He had the 100 RBIs. I get it. Both guys are at the top of the lineups on their respective clubs right now, as the Dodgers have stole both games in Philadelphia. And it also showcasing that the Philadelphia Phillies are just an enigma. Straight up. The Phillies are an enigma. And I want to understand what is really going on in Philadelphia for this team to have so much success. And then when they get to the postseason, they turn in to James Harden. I have to use that reference because of the many times and many games that he has showed up in the playoffs and didn't show up in the game. He showed up for the playoff series, but didn't show up in the game. And now they have to go to LA. They have to go to LA and try to get back to Philly. And that's a tall task. Speaking of the Dodgers, before I get into the Dodgers, let me go into the Cubs and Brewers series. I'm very happy that Milwaukee's got a 2-0 lead on Chicago. And the craziest thing that came from that is the fact that Milwaukee and Chicago are both NL Central teams, which means that one Central team is getting in to the NLCS, whether we like it or not. And for Cardinal fans that's already upset at the fact that Ollie Marmol is going to remain as manager, it's going to be 1 year under Bloom. If he don't get it together in 1 year, they'll cut him. He might not even make the season, depending on what that record looks like. So I know y'all mad about that. But Marmol is getting at least the 26th season. And that's going to be determining whether he remains as manager or not. I know a lot of people want him out of there, and they probably want to get somebody from the outside to come in and take over this organization. But because for so long that the Cardinals choose, the last time they did something like that they came from out of the organization was La Russa. And La Russa pretty much had them by the balls since 96. And he had that run. How could you stop him? And that's what the Cardinals need to get back to, is finding a way. How in the world do we have here with La Russa? Andrew says, I'm not worried about Marmol for one more year. TRL couldn't win with this team. Hopefully Boone can right this shit. He couldn't even do it in Chicago. I mean, he had a postseason appearance with them. And you see what happened with the White Sox now. Speaking of the White Sox, we're going to need Jerry Reinsdorf to let go of both of the organizations that he has. That means the White Sox and the Chicago Bulls. Sell. You got your championships. You don't need them anymore, man. Go away for good. It's just plunging money away, and these teams are not getting any better, and you're not looking to make them better. So just sell the teams, man. Let somebody else take care of this and get you out of there. You got your 6 titles in Chicago with the Bulls, and you got your World Series title finally with the White Sox in 2005. You don't need to do anything else. Let's sell a team. But back to the Dodgers. The Dodgers are complete favorites, and it's damn near unfair that they are the favorites to win once again, go back to back. And the reason I say that is because just look at that lineup. You have at least 4 to 5 guys that could put themselves in MVP candidate races. Even a 36-year-old Freddie Freeman. And then you got a pitching staff. You got a Cy Young Award winner. One is about to head off into the sun. He can take the Cardinal memories with him, along with his 2 World Series rings in Clayton Kershaw. I couldn't imagine if they didn't get rid of Corey Seager, what their team would have been. That'd have been even nastier. I doubt it. Al says if he sells the team, they may end up moving to Nashville. I doubt it. Chicago too big of a market. I understand they're not the best on the South Side right now, or the best in Chicago. But I don't think they'll sell and move to Nashville. No chance. But the Dodgers, with that lineup and that pitching staff, with Ohtani, Blake Snell, Yashimoto, that's going to be hard to beat on any given night. And then their bullpen is just as good. Who's going to stop the Dodgers? It's not going to be the Brewers. It's not going to be the Cubs. The only team that could potentially match with it, that could, if they make it, is the Toronto Blue Jays. And I want to see the Toronto Blue Jays in the World Series. I would not mind seeing them once again. Listen, the Tigers, great organization. They got the Cy Young Award winner again in Tariq Skubal. And the Mariners, listen, I have nothing against the Mariners. I would not mind seeing the Blue Jays and Mariners going at it for a World Series appearance, especially for the Mariners, because the Mariners have not seen the World Series in their history. And They're one of the few teams left that have never won a World Series. I think it's just a handful of teams now. Them, the Padres, the Rays, the Rockies are another group. I think I got them all. Yeah, I got them all. It's just fine. Oh, and the Brewers. I forgot the Brewers haven't won. So, and listen, man, the Dodgers is it. I get it. Anyone but the Dodgers, but who gonna stop them? Who's gonna stop them? The only one that's gonna stop them is themselves. That's the tough task right now at hand, man. I'm getting more and more excited. The NBA is coming in 2 weeks. I am looking forward. What's funny, I'm giving money to Jerry Reinsdorf anyway. I'm gonna go see the Bulls play. I want to go see the Bulls play. I'm not looking forward to it, man. Yes, they are. Both of them are on a roll right now, and a clash between the two of them to see who gets to the World Series. Milwaukee has not been to the World Series as a National League team. They have been to the World Series, though, in their franchise's history. The team they faced off is their Central Division rival, St. Louis Cardinals. So, if the Brewers can get past the Dodgers, it would be a major upset. One of probably the biggest upsets in baseball history. And I think people need to understand with baseball is that there's nothing wrong with having new teams featured in the World Series, because then you get an opportunity to see the stars of tomorrow faced off on the grandest stage in baseball. But here's the thing, Andrew. This just now really started benefiting the Dodgers. The Dodgers have been doing this for a long time. The Yankees have done this for a long time because they still have big pockets. Chicago with the Cubs, they were doing it, but it wasn't getting them anywhere. The Mets, you see what happened with the New York Mets? Just gave a guy $765 million, and they were at the top of the division, and they messed around and didn't even make the playoffs. So is it really a problem if there are teams that are paying all this money and they still not getting World Series success? The difference is that the Dodgers have all the pieces in place and they're doing their jobs or what they need to do to make this happen. They performing at a high level. So as much as we sit here and be like, I don't like the Dodgers, I can't knock them. Just like I can't knock the New England Patriots. I can't knock the Kansas City Chiefs. I can't knock Los Angeles Lakers of the past. I can't knock the Miami Heat. I can't knock them teams as much as I want to. And I hate them. Can't get mad at Chicago Bulls either. Oh, that's my favorite team. How they always got into the finals. But that's what they did. They did everything correct. Yeah, they probably are. All right, gang. It's time to get up out of here. It's not the one I was looking for. Not the one I'm looking for you. There we go. We're going to have to work on that screen, man. Thanks to everybody that tuned in. I was A-Train. Remember? Next time. Right here, Thursday on the A-Train show. Tomorrow, catch the Outlaw Sports Show with with Spurge. And then tonight, make sure you tune into the 18 with RC. The ladies will have their discussion on their thoughts on what's going on with the UFL. So a lot to check in. Make sure you tune in on the Experience Show. And some new things is going to be coming soon, okay? So stay tuned for that. Thank y'all for all coming in. Appreciate you coming in and chiming in on the show today. Just make sure, hey, catch y'all on Thursday for another edition of the show, right? So I'll catch you on Thursday, 12 o'clock noon on the Experience Show page. See y'all next time.